Hello, it's been a while since I made a TFT video, but I've been getting back into the game with set 3.5, and recently I hit Masters for the first time, which I am super proud of. And one thing that I improved on in order to get from stuck in Diamond 2 into Masters was I took a look at my early game positioning and copied what some of the best players were doing, but probably a little bit worse. And more importantly, I kind of looked into why they were doing it and tried to apply those concepts to my own game. So the example that we're taking today, we are going to be focusing on the early game. And for this example, we have cybernetics because I figure it's units that everyone knows, but it could be anything. So we have our primary frontline tank, our secondary frontline unit, our primary range DPS, and our secondary range DPS. But this one is a unit that doesn't matter as much. It's just in it there to give a buff to another unit. And so the first thing that you need to be doing when you have these units out is to scout. You need to scout every opponent in the early game, and you're looking for two primary things. First, does anyone in the lobby have Blitzcrank? Second, does anyone in the lobby have infiltrators? If anyone has infiltrators, you need to position as though you're going to be playing against infiltrators. Second, if someone has Blitzcrank, anyone has Blitzcrank, you need to be positioning as though you know you're going to be playing against Blitzcrank. Once you've played the one Blitz player or the one infiltrator player, if there's only one, then you can know going forward that you're not going to be matched against that opponent immediately. So say that you have these units and there are 4 different scenarios. So there is neither Blitz nor infiltrators in your lobby. There is both Blitz and infiltrators in your lobby. There's Blitz but no infiltrators in your lobby. And there's infiltrators but no Blitz in your lobby. So this positioning would be totally fine if there was neither, right? But then say that you've scouted, it's 2-1 or 2-2, and you don't know, and you could be playing against either Blitz or infiltrators. Or say that you're just lazy and you don't feel like scouting, or you didn't have time to really scout and you want to be safely positioned. So the first thing that you need is a Blitz bait unit. And our Blitz bait unit in this scenario is going to be Fiora, because a Fiora, especially 2-star with an item in cybernetics, is probably going to be able to build up enough mana to get a stun off even if she gets hooked, and she's not our primary carry unit that we really don't want to get hooked. And then we're going to be playing maybe against infiltrators. And so when infiltrators jump, they're usually not jumping right at the edges. They're positioned somewhere toward the middle. So we need to make sure that our melee tank is engaged with them so that the infiltrators don't focus our primary DPS unit and focus it down. But we want our units to all attack the infiltrators as soon as they jump in, because those units are pretty high DPS and we want to burst them down. So then no matter where infiltrators jump in, if they jump in anywhere on this side, they're going to aggro Leona. If they jump in somewhere around here, it's kind of random whether they'll aggro the Leona, the Lucian, or if they're positioned over here, the Kog'Maw or the Fiora, but we know that our units will all attack the infiltrators as soon as they jump in, which is great for us. So say that you've scouted and you know that there is a Blitz, but there's no infiltrator, our second scenario. So here I would keep very similar position, but with one change, which is that I would spread out my units a bit. And the reason for this is a unit that we haven't discussed yet, Graves. But this could be any other unit that does AoE effect, because currently if we're grouped up like this, the unit Graves, the way that he works is that he targets the unit with the highest attack speed on your team and does an AoE disable around them. So here he would target the Fiora and disable both Kog'Maw and Fiora, so we don't want that. We especially don't want our Lucian to be randomly grouped up with the Fiora and get AoE'd there. Could also be a Jace or something. So in this kind of unlikely scenario that we've scouted and we know there's no infiltrators, but there is someone who has a Blitz, this is how I would position. You could pretty much move this to anywhere on the map if you wanted. Next up, we have infiltrator, but no blitz. And here we want to go back to a more standard position because we want our units to attack. But what we're going to do with these guys is move them up actually closer to the front line. Because again, infiltrators, usually infiltrator players position them not exactly at the corners, but somewhere in the middle. So if infiltrators jump in here, what they're going to do is they're going to jump here and then have to walk all the way forward, and they lose a lot of time and damage by having to walk. And because they're usually going to be positioned in the middle, those infiltrators are going to walk up and aggro onto our melee units, whereas our backline is actually kind of in the Vel'Koz spot over here, so that these guys can attack their front line while also staying safe, because usually people don't position in the early game around here. And then, of course, we have the neither one, which is the easiest one. You can just position pretty much however you want. But if I know that there is neither blitz nor infiltrators, this is how I position. So real quick video, but just to reiterate, if I don't have time to scout, the safest positioning in the early game is going to be assuming that your opponent has both blitz and infiltrators, or maybe someone buys blitz or an infiltrator at the last second and subs it in. So then you're going to want to line up your guys in this position. I hope this was helpful. If you liked it, please go follow me on Twitch. I'm streaming pretty much every night, or at least most nights, starting around 11 Eastern, but just for a few hours. I'm hoping to hit Masters sometime soon. Anyway, for those of you who haven't been positioning like this, I hope this was helpful. If you have been, then, congratulations. You are a good player already. Anyway, until next time, bye.